All right, welcome back. Um, in this um, in this video, I'm going to be talking about the fourth Project Euler problem. Um, so we're given a prompt. The a palindromic number reads but the same ways. Reads the same both ways, forwards and backwards. And the largest palindrome from the two-digit numbers is 9009. It's 91 times 99. And we're tasked with finding the largest palindrome made from two three-digit numbers. Um, so, a couple of things here. We can't stop just when we find one uh, answer. Like, for instance, we uh, open a calculator. If it turns out that while we're iterating through, 900, we get a solution where, 900 times 450, and this is not going to work, equals this. Well, we can't stop there because maybe what happens when we iterate through 850 is that we get a solution that's actually greater. Um, so you can see how we would um, run into issues there. So we actually have to go through and find multiple solutions here. Um, it's kind of a headache. There's probably a way to simplify that, but um, the reality is, the way that I'm going to show you today works, um, and it's easy enough to grasp. So there's two things that we need to do here. One is we need to iterate through multiplication tables, and we should probably start backwards and go down because we can stop at 100. We don't actually, because it's three digits, we don't need to go below 100. And then the second thing we need to do is check to see if when we reverse something, if it's the same as it is forwards. So let's get into that. So as always, declare function. What do we want to call this? Palindrome. Product. And let's pass in as parameters. We're going to pass in as parameters the two highest three-digit numbers. If we want that way, if we wanted to check it for four digits, we could do that. This is gonna determine how we write the code because since we're iterating through these two numbers, we're going to have to use while loops instead of for loops because they're being passed as parameters, not being declared. Um, so yeah. So first thing we need is product. That's going to be an integer. We could declare the reverse of that product and store it later, but I don't think we're actually going to do that. And let's have an empty array right now. So while I is greater than 100, we are going to take the product of I and j, and let's have the product to a string, and then if product equals dot split dot reverse join. Okay, so what are we doing here? Dot split is something that takes a string. It might take a number too, but I think it takes a string as a yeah. It takes a string as an argument, and it converts it into an array. And the amount of elements in the array is determined by the split. So if you split it, as I've done here, anytime there's just a new character, you're going to have as many elements in the array as you are characters in the string. If you had a sentence like quick fox ran away or whatever. What's the quick? Yeah, they have the example of the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. And you set it to this, each element in the array would be a new word. Okay, that reverse flips the order of the array. That's pretty straightforward. So this acts on a string, which is why we did toString here. This acts on reverse. And then this acts on an array as well and turns it into a string. So if they are equal to each other, then we know they are a palindrome. And we can push parse the int, turn it back into an integer product. Okay, hopefully that made sense. We're not done yet though, because we've got two different numbers that we've got to iterate through here. So still in this loop, while j is less than greater than 100. Actually, if we since we're doing 3 digits, we don't actually need to worry about this, but we would need to correct this to be we'd want to count up the digits and make it equal to the lowest 4-digit number, but not a huge deal. So while j, we're actually going to do the same thing here. You can just go ahead and copy that. Right spacing. Yeah, it is. Okay. I think that looks good. Now we just got to worry about iterating. So where this closes out, minus, and then we need to g equals 299. And then after we're all done, we need to sort. So this is what I'm typing here is a condensed form of an anonymous function. This is just something that I've looked at enough times to sort of memorize. If you do a minus b, it's going to sort from least to greatest. If you do b minus a, it's going to sort from greatest to least. It is what did I do? That's not the most efficient, certainly not the most efficient sorting algorithm, but is definitely the shortest to write. So let's see. So when we console log. What did I call it? Palindrome product. Yep. So there we go. There's our answer. If you want to make it so that it can pass in 9,000 or 4-digit numbers and not have to check 100 through 999 for that, probably a way to do that. This is going to have to reset. That's easy enough. You just need to let reset equal 999, or well, equal I, and then do that. That's an easy way. In terms of getting this one, it's not a huge deal. We can check below 100. It's not adding too much computational effort. So we could even say as long as it's greater than 0, and it's still going to give us the correct answer, right? So you're not going to get wrong answers this way. And just to verify that. So this saves a modicum of time. But there would be a way to do that. You would just need to count up the digits, and then for every if it's 2, then it's 10. If it's 3, then it's 10 times 10. If it's 4, then it is 10 times 10 times 10, right? So you just count up the digits. The amount of digits is -1. The amount of digits -1 and 10 to that power, right? And that's what you would set as the bottom limit. So I hope that makes enough sense. This is pretty straightforward. There's definitely, if you don't have access to .split, .reverse, .join, it adds a little bit of coding to it, obviously, because someone had to program the .split, .reverse, and .join. That's not too difficult. The .reverse isn't. The .split is kind of annoying because you've got to do what you're essentially doing there is for character in array or in string, and each character you're saying caret you're saying like the caret I or whatever. What you're saying is that like that's going to become our I. So that's the basics of a .split. You just do it for every character. For a .reverse, essentially what you're doing is starting at the end of an array, or at the beginning. What's the element of array? And then once you have it stored there, you just pop out the last item, and then unshift that item. So you declare, R I set some variable, then pop I. And then r dot unshift var. Um, and then joining, that's a bit, that's that's a concatenation thing. So you have your string and you're just uncat for each element, right? So it's another for loop, right? You could code that in. This is obviously much easier. It takes a much significantly shorter amount of time to type. Um, but that's what it would look like, right? So I hope that made sense. I hope you guys enjoyed the vid. I'm going to be going through Project Euler here stuff here for a bit. Maybe I'll turn to some other stuff. If there's other challenges that you want to see, let me know. Drop a like and maybe subscribe too. It'd be great.